Okay, so as an audience, would you enjoy watching a short film which surrounds the social realism genre? Any ideas? Go on.
Yeah, I like the fact that they're down to earth and about real things. They're not predictable, and
do you like how they can't be conventional and how they've all got their own theme and things?
Yeah, and they tackle like social issues, things that are important in the world and stuff.
Okay, so we'll move on to the next question, and that is, if you had to choose, would you rather watch a film that's about drug abuse, or would you rather watch like the breakdown of a marriage with psychological effects and stuff like that?
I think they're both really interesting topics, but the one about drug abuse is probably more interesting and more like relevant to our age, whereas divorce obviously is not.
And drug abuse can be sort of marketed to a
wider group.
Yeah, wider group.
So do you think the target audience would be much more varied?
Yeah.
Yeah? Okay. Okay, so as we've talked about abuse, there's loads of different forms. So you've got drug abuse, psychological, sexual, physical. Would you rather watch one about drug abuse, or would you rather watch one about physical? I know physical can be quite hard to try and reenact, but what would you prefer?
I think physical would be too hard to create realistically, so
Yeah.
it would be drug abuse.
Do you think that the psychological effects with drug abuse, like the breakdown of how they feel, do you think that would be quite interesting to watch, or do you think you'd rather see like their downfall sort of thing?
I think watching them like with the effects of psychological abuse can be really interesting. Like if you take something like paranoia, it'd be really interesting for somebody to make and for other people to see as well.
Okay. Thank you. Okay, so the location will play quite an important part. Like you can't have really grand buildings and you can't have really posh places. So within social realism, it's very real and just not grotty, but it's not wonderful. Where do you think would be quite suitable for this type of film? Sudbury.
Haverhill. Essex.
Yeah. I mean, like in a big house or a
like a council house.
A council house.
More deprived house.
Okay. Yeah. Okay, so we've talked about the target audience for this film. Do you think there should be like an age restriction, maybe, like, because it might be a little bit, it's not the actions of like the characters, it might be the actual plot of the story that might be a little bit intruding for younger people. Do you think that there should be like a bit of an age limit on there?
Yeah, definitely, because films, just because of like the theme of drug abuse, you don't want to
you don't want to introduce that to people young age.
15.
Yeah.
Yeah, but if it's 18, it's more like it is aimed at us as well. We're not 18.
Yeah. So you can't have it too high, but you can't have it too low.
Yeah, I think 18 is normally reserved for like really
graphic.
Really graphic.
And obviously this is only going to be a short film, so it can't be
I think
that graphic.
Would be fine.
Yeah? Okay. Okay, so we've talked about like different films, and some of them can kind of be quite comical when you look at drug abuse. So you've got like Another Hood, Kidulthood, and Pimp. I don't know whether any of you have seen any of them. Have you seen any of them? No. So some of them have a little bit of a comical twist, like it's a good thing to take drugs. But do you think that an audience of maybe your age would enjoy that, or do you think they'd rather see the seriousness of the actions? Or
I'd enjoy it, but it doesn't really convey the right message, though, does it?
Yeah.
No.
If you want to make like a proper film about drug abuse, then a comical kind of film is not the right type.
Well, you could start it like when they first start using whatever, that it's fine because it doesn't, it won't, the negative effects won't start straight away. But then you can do how somebody's journey over time, they gradually become worse and worse.
And so like make it more serious as it goes more in depth.
Yeah.
Okay. Next question. The drug abuse, I know a lot of people do it for their short films, but I think if it's not conventional, then it can be made effective. Do you think it should just go along the storyline of a typical one, or do you think that it should have a twist?
It should have a twist, because otherwise, what's the point in watching your short film when they can watch somebody else's short film?
Yeah.
Like, do you know what I mean? It needs something to make it different, make it stand out.
Yeah. Do you have any ideas on how you could put a twist on it, or if you've seen anything that you thought, wow, that's different?
I'm not sure really, but it doesn't all have to be like drug orientated. So you could always have like a relationship twist, or like something to do with friendships that's broken up due to the drugs, or something like that.
Yeah, that's cool. When we talk about like the background, like the music, we can either have like maybe like a beat soundtrack, or like sometimes music can be quite nice to just hear in the background quite softly. Do you think that it should be like rock, really like heavy metal, or do you think it should be quite soulful, like, I don't know, like James Blunt and James Morrison, Ed Sheeran? Do you think that sort of music would be good, or any suggestions?
I think it should change, because it wouldn't make sense if it was like soulful music
At a
while they're
party.
taking drugs. So definitely like harder rock then, but then like easy
On the calm down kind of thing. To go more relaxed.
Okay. And then finally, just like, do you like the initial storyline sort of genre that I'm going to use, or do you have any suggestions of how I could change it to make it better?
I like it so far, it sounds good. There's a lot of potential there.
Oh, thank you. Okay, well, thank you very much. That's it.